Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Season 2 of Zenith Racing League. Yes, of course, a racing league on Le Mans Ultimate. And we're here at round 1, which will be at Sebring, but I'll get back to that. We quickly wait for the session to start while some cars are driving some warm-up laps. Yes, so I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Tom. Today I will be hosting this broadcast that will showcase the ZRL Zenith Racing League Season 2 Round 1 here at Sebring. It's a 60-minute race, but before that we still have a 10-minute qualifying session out of GT3 cars, and we should have 19 people attending so far, or 20 actually, but so far 19 are in. They still have 3 minutes. And with that, we should have a lot of entertainment and a very fun race to watch, as we see a good old stream snipe here. We're starting off well, but in the meantime, let me quickly show you this. Yeah, today we'll be racing at Sebring International Raceway, and people know Sebring as this track in the United States of America that looks approximately like this. You know, quite a usual racetrack with a lot of corners, good for racing, but that's not what we'll be driving today, because we're gonna cut away the whole top part. This is what we're left with. Only a couple of corners, a very short lap time, but hopefully a lot of room for an exciting race. Yeah, as the cars are still doing some warm-up laps, we'll keep watching the pit lane until qualifying begins. We have 19 people in, so I think that's gonna be all. That means I will take this quick moment to recap who we all have driving here. Because we first have Potter Hatter Motorsport driving a BMW M4, consisting of the drivers Jack Pressington and Taylor Dewhurst. Both are present today. The same counts for Zenith Racing, consisting of William Talbot and Stan Gretzky, who are also both here today by the looks of it. Then we have Type 1 Racing, consisting of Matt James, who is here today, but so far it looks like he's the sole representative of that team. Then we have IKEA Racing, consisting of, bear with me, Matthias Jepson and Jackie Miller, I think, also driving a BMW M4. I forgot to mention Zenith Racing is driving a Ferrari 296, and Type 1 Racing are driving the Porsche 911. So, we have Mode Down Racing driving the Corvette. Yeah, and those drivers are Kian Byrne and Adam Modan. Then we also have Julian Calkins representing Precision M Motorsport in his BMW M4. Then we have Wagwan Generals represented today by Eetu Koskinen in his Porsche 911. We also have both drivers present for We Were Sandbaggers, also driving a BMW M4. Those drivers are Chris Wilson and John Mitchell. I think they are both here. Yeah, they are by the looks of it. Then Peter van Innis for BE Racing driving a Lexus. Patrick Balog for AMG Afalterbach Motorsport driving a Mercedes AMG. Louis Liebe for Deadline Racing driving a Porsche 911. Petros Theodorou for Fast Evolution driving a Lexus. And Tommy Scarborough and William McKinnon driving for Pedal to the Metal Racing in their BMW M4 as well. And I think that's everyone. I don't think there are any reserve drivers here today. So yeah, as practice has now concluded, which means we should transition to qualifying any moment. I don't know what is... Oh, yeah, there we go. It took a little while. Oh, and drivers are already underway. That is no problemo. We'll get up the graphics. So yeah, as you can see on the left, all drivers are perfectly lined up. Not everyone has their logos, unfortunately. That's something I just cannot help. We tried to fix it, but it didn't work out. It appears Etu Koskinen is the first one out. I'm not sure if that's the case, but we will have a look-sees. Well, he will... Well, they are already on a lap. That's the fun part. When you drive out of the pit lane here, your lap kind of starts immediately. So he will be the first to put down the lap time. Let's have a quick look, because I think, yeah, Jack is about to start a lap. We'll just go on board with him to see if he can show us what the lap is like. It's very short, so this will be over before you know it. This is the first turn, so quite a wide right or left-hander, I should say. And then this is immediately where the cutoff part is. Usually you go straight here, but today we're taking a quick right-hander and another right-hander, and now you're already in the what usually would be sector 3 on the Sebring circuit. So it's only a couple more sweeping corners. And then there's this turn onto the straight. And I mean, Jack appears to be still warming up his tires. It is fair. It's a kind of a warm-up lap, of course. But at least we now have seen how it goes. And then this is the last corner with a lot of bumps. I think this is where we might see the most action and the most incidents today. Because the track is very unpredictable there. And it's a big-ass 180-degree hairpin. So you never know what's gonna happen. Thank you, Jack, for showing us that. Well, as we can see, there have already been some times put on the board. The fastest time so far is by Etu Koskinen. It's a 1:06.023. We have 7 minutes to go still in quali. See, Jack is improving on his time. As McKinnon goes fastest. But Gretzky goes a second faster than all of the guys before. What can the other drivers do? Let's have a quick look here. William Talbot appears to be improving quite a lot. He's now on the back straight, driving the Ferrari. He impressed a lot in the practice sessions before, so let's see what he can deliver. As Jack goes up to P2. Williams' lap time will put him on provisional pole position with a 1:04.362. Impressive laps there. As Koskinen and Dewhurst both gain positions in the timing table. Jepsen, James, Muller and Modan still have to do a lap. We'll see if they all will do a lap. Maybe somebody decides to start intentionally from the back of the pack. With 19 drivers present, you know, everything can happen. You can drive a very good race. Because it is 60 minutes and fuel consumption is quite high, they will have to make probably 2 pit stops. So that's also going to be fun to see how that will play into their strategy. As Liebe now goes to P2. And Wilson goes to P4. Oh, but Bressington goes second. So it's a very competitive quali. People keep finding time. Let's cycle the cars a bit more after Will has completed his lap. He just He only increased the margins. It appears Potter Hatter Motorsport are currently representing second and third place in the qualifying sheet. So you can see a lot of cars having their custom liveries with their own logos and designs on them, which is always very nice for us to look at. I don't think it will work in the starting grid, but that's something for later to notice. Let's have a look at one of the drivers a bit further down. Oh, they disappear right when you want to click on them. This is John Mitchell, followed right behind his teammates, but will they gain in the timing? Second, 12th place, I should say, sorry. As Jepson is also out with IKEA Racing, just fresh out of the pit, so he will only have time for 1 or 2 laps. And this is officially his first push lap, but it's kind of warming up. As Taylor Dewhurst is parked, yeah, he will return to the pit lane. This is Julian Calkins. Yeah, you can see the car really struggling with the bumps in that turn. This will affect everyone, I'm sure, today. Go Julian Calkins, still 13th place. As John Mitchell, I think, just increased, yeah, and Chris Wilson as well. So checks in the pits. Let's have a look at Stan. Stan is currently on the lap. In the back sector. Oh, he's right behind another car. Is this tactical, or is this kind of ruining his lap? He does gain a lot, so maybe it was tactical. It gained him maybe some time on the straights. Stan into second place. And he will return to the pit lane by the looks of it. Let's see what pole sitter William Talbot is doing. He might start another lap, because he is on the back straight. Does not appear to be improving currently. Very impressive, the lap times William Talbot is doing. Taylor Dewhurst probably starting his final lap now. Fortunately, no track map for me to really look at. It appears Kian Byrne is almost at the end of his lap. Oh, not quite. Oh no, I'm looking. John Mitchell, yeah. 5th place as of now. Yeah, those sector times are not really looking competitive, so he's probably not on a push lap. Adam Moda now probably will start from the back. He is not bothering to put in a lap. Jepson moves up to 8th place. Oh, I'd say it's pretty close. The top 10 all being within a second of each other. Of course, the second, it looks big, but if you blink with your eyes, the second is over, basically. It's always the small margins in car racing. But right now it's a Zenith Racing 1 and 2 with the Ferraris. but it will only show us one Ferrari logo, that is. Yeah, it appears quali is over for Jack, because this lap time won't be an improvement, I think. No, it will not. A lot of drivers in the pits, so Adam Moden is confirmed 19th. Jackie Muller is still on a lap. Let's see what happens here. Peter van Innis is not driving. Tommy Scarborough, well, it's basically, this is the confirmed lineup. Taylor Dewhurst is still, no, he backs out. That means it appears William Talbot is on pole position, with Goretzky in P2, Dewhurst in P3, Pressington P4 and Koskinen in P5. We'll go through the entire starting grid in a second. But yeah, these are the results of qualifying. A pole time of 1 minute 4:048. That just shows you how small of a lap it really is here. And this also means we are about to transition to the race. Here we go. That means for us it's time. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? We're gonna have a quick look at the race start. So here we go. On pole position we have UJazz Racing looking out the front row. William Talbot on pole with Stan Goretzky as his teammate in P2. Then it's Taylor Dewhurst in P3 and Jack Pressington in P4. That's also a team locking out the second row. The rest of the grid consists of Eetu Koskinen and John Mitchell. Row 3, decent qualifying result for them. Then it's Chris Wilson and Kian Byrne on row 4. Then in P9 and 10 we have Matthias Jepsen for IKEA Racing and Louis Liebe. Followed by Julian Calkins and Patrick Ballock on the 6th row of the grid. Next up we have William McKinnon and Petros Theodorou. Followed by Tommy Scarborough and Matt James. Then it's Peter van Innis and Jackie Muller on row 9. And that means there's one car to round off the grid. He did not do a lap in quali, but it's Adam Moden who will be starting last. By choice, that is, of course. And that is the starting grid. As the formation lap has started, the drivers line up double file. And they will be driving all the way to the starting line. And that's when the flags will go green and they will be going racing. So it's a rolling start. And we should have a very exciting race on our hands here. It appears only one of the Ferraris is actually loaded in the UJazz Racing livery. I don't know if that's on my end or if something went wrong there, but that's okay. Let's focus on the driving. Here they go, here they go. Green flags as we are racing in Sebring. It's a good start for basically everyone in the top 4 and they will be 4 wide into the first corner. What will happen here? William Talbot has the inside and it's Jack Pressington up to P2, but Sam will go around the outside. Hopefully trying to get that inside into the next corner, but Jack blocks him off, so it's William still leading from Jack. Sam goes down the inside of Jack and it's Taylor now in P4, Eetu Koskinen still in P5, Chris Wilson P6. William appears to be off the line pretty well. Let's have a look at the deltas. Yes, some tight battles here and at the back. William is really driving away so far. From P7 down, it's Byrne, Mitchell, Jepsen, Liebe, Calkins, McKinnon, Theodorou, Moden, Scarborough, Balog, Van Innis, Muller and Matt James. It appears Adam Moden already up to 13th position. He is gaining a lot. As we can see here on the screen now, he already went from P19 to 13th place. So far he is the biggest gainer by the looks of it. As where are the gaps really close? It appears Kian Byrne is trying to make a move, or is a move getting made on him? It appears he is in front of both the BMW cars there. And he made the move stick. Kian Byrne up to P6. He was P7 before that. As the IKEA racing car of Matthias Jepsen behind, really wanting to also make some moves. He looks hungry for action. But yeah, drivers are looking to settle in. As we see the Porsche at the back there making some moves. Yeah, the driver's really looking to settle in the race now. Because it's a long one. It's 1 hour of racing and you don't win the race in the first lap. Especially when it's this long. So let's hope they all try their best to conserve. William leading a comfortable pit. 1.3 seconds ahead of Jack Bressington. And then another 1.5 seconds to Stan Goretzky. It appears Taylor Dewhurst is kind of catching up. But also Eetu Koskinen is having to defend Kian Byrne. Maybe his quali wasn't representative of his actual race pace. Look at this, he's really trying to go for it. Here, let's look at their 1v1 battle. It appears Kian Byrne is the first one to make an overtake, but Taylor Dewhurst is also pretty close to Stan Goretzky up front. Very nice to see the drivers still sticking together like that. Oh, as Kian tries to go down the inside. But Choco managed to stick it out in front. Very tricky in this corner. Kian will probably have a decent exit, so they will be side by side. Choco still slightly ahead. He will have the inside to the next corner, which should give him the advantage. But if Kian can keep sticking around the outside, I think Choco lets him go here. So Kian gets the move done. Koskinen down to P6, having to defend of Chris Wilson now. And also his teammate John Mitchell right behind him. Let's see what happens as Taylor Dewhurst. How is he doing? Still quite close behind Stan. Let's see how he will drive. Stan is trying to break the slipstream a bit. I also see a very interesting battle up front. Is that even a battle? I think we might already have a lapped car amongst our mids. Yeah, Matt James. He appears to already be lapped. Let's have a look. There he is. As he gets overtaken by Jack Bressington. Oh, and he made contact. That is really, really stupid for a lapped car to do. Matt James, keep it together. You are lapped. You have to let them go without really screwing them over. This might not be the best thing to do. Here we go. Some other close laps. Close laps? Yeah. Well, Will's leading by 2.5 seconds. Taylor and Stan are now side by side. Will he be able to make the move stick? Stan chooses to switch lines. Brakes a bit earlier than Taylor, so he will go down the inside now. Oh, and he makes a beautiful move just down the inside to defend his position, but Taylor probably has a better exit. Going side by side into the next corner. Both quite patient here. Not really wanting to risk it, which is smart. It's a long race ahead. And I mean, It's the first race of the season. Valuable points to get here. And of course you cannot win the season in this one race, but every point counts. It will be 25 points, I think, for first place. 18 points for second place. Podium finish off with 15 points. I'm not 100% sure about that. For all relevant and updated standing information, you can always have a look at the Discord server. Should be linked in the chat of the stream or in the description or somewhere on the YouTube channel. Ooh, as Kian is now approaching Taylor quite fast, even though he is struggling a bit to keep his car under control. What will he do? What will he do? Oh, I don't know what happened to Stan. He's all the way down to 14th, 15th. Did Stan maybe spin? Oh, that's not great, as Kian overtook Taylor. I completely missed it. I'm so sorry. Kian up into the podium positions. He is really gaining a lot. Same with Adam Modan in 9th place. He's really looking to make moves. Also on the IKEA car of Matthias Jepson. These drivers have been driving a bit in a train as of now, but Adam Modan would like to say something about that, as there's a yellow flag. What is going on? What is going on? I think Theodoru appears to have had a spin. I don't know if he has damage. He's going again now, but that did not look very pretty. Back to Adam Modan. Looking to make a move on the IKEA car. Will you go down the inside in the next corner? No, because Matthias Jepson covers it off. Some really fair and good racing here by these two cars. But now Adam just has superior traction. He will get him on the straight. As behind there also kind of side by side, I think Liebe either just made the move or is defending of McKinnon. Adam Moda's next target is John Mitchell, right in front of him. Ooh, that's a bit of track limits for Adam Modan. He has to be careful there, because this game is not very forgiving. It might give him a penalty very quickly. He just has superior straight line speed. There he goes. He doesn't even need the slipstream. Down the inside. Oh, he just forced him off the track, it looks like. So, not the cleanest of racing now by Adam Modan. Mitchell might have to say something about that after the race. Drivers can choose to do reports by themselves if they provide their footage. In the meantime, William Talbot still leading up front. He's basically in no man's land. Nobody around him. He's enjoying life with Jack Bressington in P2. Only 3 seconds behind Will. That's quite a lot, but I say only because Kian Byrne is the next car behind. 8 seconds behind the leader. If we look at the interval gaps, you can see behind Kian it's all very close together, but the top two have basically driven away so far. Yeah, Taylor's still managing to stay as Stan is in the pits. He leaves the pits now. It appears he is lapped, but maybe he can drive himself away from being lapped. Joins the middle of the pack. Muller also in the pits. Maybe he is repairing damage. Ooh, we have some great action here. We have a couple of cars all within a couple of tenths. Leading is Koskinen in the Porsche. Then we have another Porsche. That is John Mitchell. He's in P8. And then in between it are Chris Wilson and Adam Modan. Very interesting to see how this train will unfold. A lot of close racing still. The drivers must be enjoying it. Oh, it's side by side for Adam Modan and Chris Wilson. And Amonen gets the move done. Up to 6th place. His next target appears to be Eetu Koskinen. Amonen really on fire here. If we have a quick look at the positions gained and lost. Amonen now up 13 positions. Which is quite incredible if I say so myself. But Key and Burn also doing very respectable in P3, up 5 positions. And don't underestimate, Van Innis didn't have the best of qualifying sessions, but up at the 12 positions, very close to getting some proper points in the bag. But still, 48 minutes to go. So Adam Modan has crawled all the way up to Koskinen. And the thing is, Adam Modan is in shot of a podium here, because they're all still very close together. The question is, what will he do? What will he do? Well, he will overtake. He just has the straight line speed to make it happen. Once again, oh, he really cannot make an overtake without putting his elbows out. That didn't look like the cleanest of racing. I hope both drivers turn out okay after that, but one or the other might have a bit of damage. It appears Adam shoved Eetu wide, even though there was loads of space on the inside. Koskinen now appears to back out and give him the position. But that might be something worth discussing later as he defends from Wilson. Wilson really wanting to get a piece of the action as well. Wilson's teammate Mitchell also still reasonably close behind. Gonna have a quick look on board again. We're on board with Chris Wilson. Let's see how he does. Right in front of him is Eetu Koskinen. And then Adam Modan in front of that, who is looking to try and gain more time. But maybe the drivers in front have a bit of damage, because they did have a little collision. I have to say, this sector is pretty fun to drive. A lot of the fun corners of Sebring are in the part that we're not driving on today, but luckily apart from this one long 180-degree hairpin, everything else should be quite a lot of fun. Let's go back to the off-board views. By the looks of it, William Tauber driving away with it now. Calm and composed. Same with Jack Bressington for P2. Yeah, no such thing as safety cars or full course yellows in this. Not implemented in the game yet. Let's see how it is going between Taylor and Keane, because they're still very close. They are approaching a lapped car by the looks of it. Yeah, Stan Goretzky spinning out, now being lapped. At least I presume that's what happened. We didn't see it. Maybe that's the smoke we saw when we switched to Key and Burn. Maybe that was because of his spin. An incident there. As Key and Burn is in the pits for a refuel stop. Giving P3 back to Taylor. So yeah, drivers are gonna have to refuel probably twice this race. He decides to do it now, I presume. Hopefully he doesn't get bothered by traffic a lot. Because that would mean he loses time. Taylor. And oh, Adam Modan has just overtook Taylor Dewhurst. I'm sorry for completely missing that. As there are also battles behind Chris Wilson and Eetu Koskinen. It appears the cars in the midst of all this is actually... I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, there's a Lexus in front of Adamo then. And that Lexus appears to be Peter van Innis, who is 16th. Ooh. There comes Kian. Out of the pits, his refuel stop made him lapped. So that is quite interesting. That a fuel stop puts you down a whole lap. But that means the others are also gonna have to do it. So all will reset itself. So Kian now in a slight advantage, even though he is 16th. Only, I think, one set of tires over other cars, so no such thing as a fresh tire advantage that will make an undercut available. It's all about fuel, and fueling up will make your car more heavy, so not necessarily faster. That being said, of course fueling is necessary, because otherwise you will not make the end of the race. Closest gap on track right now. We see a lot of cars, but it's actually Wilson here right behind Eetu Koskinen, fighting for currently 5th place. You see some side-by-side action up front. Taylor Dewhurst lapping the Lexus of Peter van Innis. Yeah, as you can see, the bottom 5 all have already made a stop, apart from Matt James. Everybody else still has to stop for their first time. We'll do it like this. Chris Wilson and Eetu Koskinen very close together the whole time. In quite the battle, if I say so myself. That's the thing, if you're confident about your pace, there's no need to rush the overtake. You can just sit behind. You never know what happens in the rest of the race, as there's so many cars here and you just cannot see who are lapped and who aren't. That must cause a lot of confusion for the drivers, as Stan is now DNF in the pits. I think he just voluntarily retired. That's not how he would have liked his season to start. That's a big shame for the huge ass racing driver. That is our first retirement of the race, as we see some on-track action here. Ooh, I think Choco, Koskinen I should say, is not happy with the behavior of that car. Who is that left car again? It's Kian. So yeah, Kian is getting overtaken by these drivers who were previously behind him, because he already went for his fuel stop. So he's probably gonna have a bit bigger struggles because of his heavier car, because he already fueled it up, but also, according to the rules, he is lapped, which means he should give way to the other cars, even though they are literally racing for position. Which is something interesting that happens when you're racing here at Sebring School. That's, I guess, what you get with these short lap times. Oh, as somebody enters the pits in a very illegal way. Who was that? I think it was Van Innis. Yeah, oh no, he didn't enter the pits because that's not where the pits is. He completely went off. Took some pylons with him. Probably hit the fence, has a lot of damage. And also retires from this race. That is the end of the race for Peter Van Innis. That's a shame, that's a shame. He was actually doing quite well, gaining quite some positions from the start. End of the race for him. Liebe is also retiring from this race. I don't know what is going on. I'm missing things here. That means also one driver less for Deadline Racing. No drivers representing BE Racing anymore. And the retirement of Stan means there's also only one driver still driving for UJS Racing. Although be it, that's the person leading this race, William Talbot in P1. Who are we? That is the person we are watching at the moment. Thank you, English. Yeah, still Eto Koskinen and Chris Wilson very close together. Doing very well to stay with each other. But Jack Brassington is into the pits. Taylor Dewars as well. So it appears we might have a couple of more cars coming into the pits. Both cars going in at the same time. Luckily they have separate slots, so nothing will bother them there. Be interesting to see where they will come out. That does make this officially a battle for the podium. A lot of people in the pits right now. Yeah, there they are, all refueling. It takes a while on these cars. And Jack Brassington gets going again. He should be shortly followed by Taylor Dewhurst. And by Calkins. Where will Jack come out? And mainly, where will Keane be once he comes out? That's more important for Taylor Dewhurst, of course. Here goes Brassington. He is now 10th. As William Talbot is also in the pits, which means Adam Monan is now leading this race. Race leader refueling. Let's just wait how it settles after everybody has done their refueling. Jack overtaking the lapped car. William Talbot now done with refueling. 35 minutes to go in this race. Seventh place for him. As Brassington pits again, what is going on? I'm sure this wasn't planned or scheduled. I'm very confused at what's happening here. There's just some funky moonwalking by the cars here. Oh, everybody and their mom is in the pits right now. Koskinen as well. It seems Adam Modan is the only one who's yet to go. We can see that. Number of stops. Yeah. Oh, and Matt James. Adam Modan and Matt James, the only ones who still have to make a pit stop this race. So Koskinen was battling with Chris Wilson. Maybe he can gain a bit of time on him here. It all depends on how much fuel you add. Because the more fuel you add, the longer your stop will be. But it appears Chris Wilson is right behind him. So there won't be much difference in their position after this. William Talbot now back to second position. 50 seconds behind Adam Modan. But Brassington, what has happened? He had to pit again, and now he's all the way down in 14th. Koskinen and Byrne here battling for position. Keane goes a bit wide. Koskinen for now makes the overtake, but Keane Byrne, he is not done yet. As he goes down the inside and makes the move stick. Keane back in his old position by the looks of it, in front of Koskinen but behind Dewhurst. Which means professionally the podium appears to be Adam Modan, who just pitted, won't be on there. No, William Talbot, Taylor Dewhurst and Keane Byrne. But maybe Adam Modan's laps before pitting have been so good that he will come out in the top 3. I'm expecting he won't, but you never know what happens. We also got a comment by Stan Gretzky on what happened related to his retirement. He said, Matt James broke really early and I had to brake whilst turning, which caused me to spin. Which is, of course, yeah, that happens with these cars, especially I think in the corner where it happened. If you brake there while turning, good luck. He also said, shit happens, get him next time. Which I'm sure he will. Talking about next time will be next week, same time. The race will be at the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao in Portugal. As there's a yellow flag. What has happened? We need to know who's gonna come out in front. Okay, it has ended. I don't see anyone going particularly slow. Ooh, we have a bit of a battle here. Which appears to be actually 4 lapped cars. And believe it or not, even after pit stop, Chris Wilson has found himself right behind Eetu Koskinen in the SpongeBob car again. As we... Ooh! Got very close on their braking there. Almost was an incident. So we appear to be getting very close to the halfway mark of this race. Now in the 30th minute. Chris Wilson lost his composure a bit there, because look, his gap has increased quite a bit now. Which means Choco can actually focus forward, because that's where Keane Byrne is. And if you can keep with him, you never know what happens. Talbot leading, Adam Modan, yeah, actually he came out in 2nd place, so stellar pace by him. This race also hasn't been going exactly to plan for Jackie Miller. If you sometimes see an IKEA car strumbling around in the background, I'm afraid that is him. It's a great looking car, very funny as well, but 4 laps down, still driving, because if you finish the race at all, that awards you half a point in this league, so you never know what that could gain you in the standings. But this Verdi Knekkebrut car is really just driving for fun, I guess. Maybe he can unlap himself 4 times. Wonders can happen. Let's go on board with Eetu Koskinen for a little bit. In his Porsche 911. Still following behind Kian Byrne. Really hugging those track limits. Very easy to pass them on this track. Let's hope nobody suffers and has to serve a drive-through penalty. But that is what will happen if you cross it too many times. Hitting a top speed here of approximately 245 kilometers an hour, 250 almost. That's the fastest the drivers will go on this entire track as far as I know. Maybe they go faster here, but I don't think so. Thank you, Choco, for providing us with some good lines. As he completely outbrakes himself. Oh, that is the first mistake for Koskinen. No, and that means Chris Wilson gets a position on him. Luckily, he's still right behind, so only a minor loss. But he will be mad with himself that he made that little mistake. Now he has to gain back this position. Let's see if he will manage. And that's probably a little bit of a relief for Kian. Maybe Kian Byrne can now try and focus on catching up to Taylor. 5.7 seconds is what he has to gain for that to happen. If we have a quick look at our gap to the leader, you can see William is 10 seconds clear of anyone else, at least in Delta. Here he is. As we have another battle emerging, and that is William McKinnon, who is approaching Patrick Balog. William McKinnon here in the BMW, Patrick in the Porsche, it seems. They are fighting for doubling their points basically, because from P11 to 10 I think you go from half to 1 point. And then they would obviously like to gain another position or two, because that would double your points even more, from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 4 points. Ooh, he has a really good exit. Will he be able to do something on the straight here? He will go down the inside. Side by side into the bumpy turn. The last turn of the track. Ooh, he really sends it. Puts it in front of Patrick. Making a statement. Here I am. But Patrick cuts it down. Now has the inside line. Which means they will still be very close together going on the straight. But it seems William McKinnon is in front now. Patrick Balog looking down the inside. He really wants that position back. But so far, nothing can do really. Right behind him we have Jack Brassington catching up as well. He's looking to, of course, still gain as much as he can after, well, I'm not sure really what happened. Apologies for whatever the screen is doing. It's almost like Jack is having to fend off, but that Lexus is not behind him in track position. I'm not sure who it is. It is Petros Theodorou, who is 3 positions behind him. but is definitely not leaving Jack alone. And actually, he goes for the move down the inside. Ooh, as we have some cars going off the track. That appears to be Patrick Ballock, now losing a bit of time. Ooh, and was that a collision, or is that just a camera playing games with my head? Adam Modem, by the way, 17 positions. Really going for that underdog story every race. At one point it stops being an underdog story. Chris Wilson also getting close to Kian Byrne and kinda dropping back to Koskinen. So Koskinen really holding him up, it seems, because now he got the overtake done and he is gaining on Kian Byrne. We could look, his last lap time was 8 tenths faster. That's substantial. Kian had a great straight though. It appears Chris Wilson can gain all the time in the corners, but Kian is just faster on the straight, because that's where he gains most of his time. Really getting close to the tire barrier there, Kian Byrne. Adam Modan is slightly gaining on Will with just over a second. Well, that was quite a lot. I don't know if anything has happened to Will. He just needs to stick it out for 22 more minutes to make sure he drags it home across the line. Meanwhile, Jack Brassington now right behind Patrick Ballock. It appears he is in front of Petros Theodorou again. Jack really looking to make some moves here on Patrick. Ooh, as we have some side-by-side action here. Oh, I think that, yeah, that's the lapped car of Jackie Muller, who had to really awkwardly let these guys pass, but it seems that Jack did not lose a lot of time there. Yeah, Jackie Muller now 6 laps behind Theodorou, but 7 laps behind the race leader. Ooh, bit of squabbly by Patrick, which means Jack has a better run onto the straight. Going up into 11th position. Will he be able to hold it for the next straight? Next turn quite tricky, of course. Patrick Ballock really looking to get back down his inside. But as it stands now, Jack will have made the move done, which means his next target will be William McKinnon. Right up ahead. Chris Wilson now really close to Kian Byrne. 5 tenths. I'm sure the drivers are really starting to feel this track right now. As Kian Byrne goes for a second stop, I think. Yep, he's into the pit lane. I think first one to initiate his second stop. Actually, Petros Theodorou is also in the box. So yeah, Kian Byrne. And that means the gaps have kind of spread. The only one still close is Patrick Ballock, but Jack Brassington appears to be faster. Only a third of the race still left. 19 minutes to go from now. What can Jack Bressington do to gain more points after he was running oh so comfortably in P2 and he had to do another stop? The question is, will he have to stop again? If he managed to do 2 stops back to back and now go to the end, there's still a whole world for him to gain. But if he has to do another pit stop, then yeah, he really is fighting for the lower points at best. Let's have a look. Adam Modan getting really close to William Talbot. Well, not really, but he is gaining substantially. But I don't think he's gaining enough to catch him by the end of the race. Will should just stay composed and drag it across the line to really get all the points he needs. If you're still watching at this point, make sure to join the Discord server. The link is in the chat. And the link is... yeah, the link is also in the description of the YouTube stream. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm sorry. If you're chatting, I cannot see. Because I choose to not have that open. I have to say, it's been a really interesting race. Certainly no lack of action. As here Adam Modan tries to lap what appears to be... oh, I said driver backs out. I think Matt No? Ah, Tommy Scarborough, yeah. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, Adam's last lap time was not faster than Will's. So at this rate, he won't be in contention to even battle him. But now he appears to be gaining. As a good old mate would say, it's a bit of a... well, not a ding-dong battle, but the delta is a bit of a ding-dong delta. Really pushing that car to its limits, as you can see. Adam Modan, you can just see by the way it maneuvers around those corners there that he's not taking it easy. Theodoru's in the pits again. I'm not sure if he will ever leave. I don't think so, because he's been standing here for quite some time. Maybe he's repairing damage and just wanting to drive until the end, like Checky Muller's also doing. Jack Bressington slightly gaining on William McKinnon, but not by a lot. Ah, it won't allow me to see. Okay. Only the gaps to Patrick we can see. Well, that's a shame. William Talbot getting right all close to them, but he still has to do a second stop. We can have a quick look at that. As you can see, Jack made 2 stops, but we are not sure if his second one, Bressington that is, was an actual fuel stop or if something went wrong in the first one and he had to come in again. Keem Byrne, currently the only one who we 100% know did his stop and is now going to the end. So we will have a lot of Delta craze right in the last 10 minutes by the look of it. gonna be tough for me to keep up with, especially with the lack of a mini-map. But we will see. Yeah, Jack being the... Apart from the people who DNF'd, so far the biggest loser. As Jack pits again, so that is our confirmation. That wasn't a pit stop on merit, and he actually is fighting for the lower points. Well, let's see, maybe he can still scrap something good out of this. But at this point it's also very tough to still gain a lot, and it's only 13.5 minutes left, and then finishing the lap. Aha, as William Talbot hits the wall, and he hits the wall again. That is very not conform character for a race leader. He might have a lot of damage because of that, and he might give it away to Adam Modan here. What will happen? William Talbot, have you thrown it away yourself now? Ooh, really struggling to keep his Ferrari on the road. Yeah, that lapped car really has no idea what he kind of has to do with it. Oh, Will. Adam Modan gaining loads now because of your damage, probably. Yep. Well, you know what time it is. Let's get up the 1v1 battle. Oh, this gap is... Oh, my days. William Talbot. What have you done? As there's also a yellow flag, but I don't know what that is for. Adam Modan is gonna overtake William Talbot for the lead of this race probably very soon. Because William threw it away himself. I think Tommy Scarborough... Taylor Dewhurst made a move? I'm not quite sure what happened there. But Adam Modan will be saying, Will, what have you done? And also, thank you very much. Yeah, this lap has been seconds faster for Adam Modan. This might actually put Will in threat of maybe even losing more positions. He's lucky that there's such a big gap behind, and he should stick it out to the end. Well, he still has to pit another time, that's the thing. But Adam Modan, as a couple of cars go into the pit lane, here will have to... Oh, William Talbot also pits. So we won't see an overtake on track. They took the action away from us. That's a big shame, that is. And I'm here right behind Taylor Dewhurst. Taylor Dewhurst, who has just made a second stop, so he will not be properly lapped. Adam Modan still has to make a stop, I think. So Taylor's still in a comfortable podium position. And now, because of Will's issues, that might even put Taylor all the way up to P2, with Adam Modan leading, and maybe even in the fight for the win. We're gonna have a look. William Talbot, he's coming out of the pit lane now. No, Taylor Dewhurst still quite far behind. But with the damage, maybe he can make some big gains. The top four still have to stop. So provisionally it looks William Talbot, Taylor Dewhurst, Matthias Jepsen even. But yeah, Adam Modan has kind of confirmed the race win for himself if he just keeps it on track for exactly 10 more minutes. We're almost done with the race. Here goes Adam Modan. As Wilson and Mitchell are both in the pits. Teammates, once again pitting on the same lap. Koskinen still sticking it out. He also still has to make one more stop. As there's another yellow flag. Somebody tell me what it is. William Talbot back into the podium positions for now. The question is, will he have had damage? And if he had damage, did he repair his damage? Ooh. Losing composure again there, William Talbot, who literally was leading this race for the biggest part of it. from lap 1 all the way until 45 minutes in, and then just lost it. Lost it out of the most difficult corner of the track, yes, but still. Very unexpected. As Moden and Koskinen are now both in. So William Talbot now past the pit lane. And Moden driving out substantially in front of him. We can see William Talbot, he lost 8.5 seconds already. And I'm afraid that gap is not going to decrease before the end of the race. So Will is going to have to fight his best to... well, I was going to say to get the podium, but honestly he's going to have to fight his best to keep it on the track. Some close gaps here. Koskinen driving out. And while driving out of the pits, getting overtaken by Taylor Dewhurst. Everybody has made their final stop now by the looks of it, which means we are racing for position with 7 minutes and 42 seconds to go. Koskinen has found himself back in the top 5. Kian Byrne, he's the one, the odd one out, I think. Maybe he's the one who is causing the yellow flags and had spins. He would have been in this top 5 mix, I'm pretty sure. But he is here. P8. Also having to scrap for minimal points. McKinnon and Calkins very close behind. They're side by side actually. 2 BMWs, just in slightly different colors, going really close together into the next corner. What will happen? Will somebody try to stick it around the outside? Oh yes! McKinnon will stick it around the outside, and he will make it stick, even though the inside has the advantage. There was some very clean and nice racing by the 2 BMW drivers. Maybe Jack Bassington is thinking, yeah, keep battling, maybe I can gain some more positions. He would take a P9 if that's something he could still get, but he only has just over 6 minutes to do it. Taylor Dewhurst with Chris Wilson in front and Eetu Koskinen behind. This is gonna be the battle for the final podium place. These 3 drivers having driven, honestly, a very... yeah, these 3 drivers having driven a very... appreciative... No, that's not English. Hang on, I'll be back in about 10 seconds when I've come up with some words to say. So yeah, these 3 drivers, they've just driven a very clean race, let's say it like that. Not perfect, but they are here in the top 5. As we see this car with the Stockport logo up top. Potter Hatter Motorsport, of course, resembling Stockport County and Stoke City Football Club. Kian Byrne now gaining a lot of time, I think, on Matthias Jepson as well. As also Wilson, you know, they are gaining massive times on William Talbot, so I will tune in back into that battle in a moment, I think. Because William Talbot might even drop out of the podium positions if he's not careful. There's William McKinnon with Julian Calkins right behind. Yeah, they're still sticking together, but nothing much happening. Jack Pressington gaining slightly, but so far not enough. Kian Byrne is chasing that IKEA car. Was his lap time. It was half a second faster, and that's not going to be enough to overtake him before the end of the race. Because there will be about 5 laps left maximum, and that will bring him in only half a second. Ooh, Chris Wilson. William Talbot is in sight with 3.5 minutes to go, and the gap is super small now, which means William has everything to lose. William Talbot, from leading this race for with over 20 seconds of a gap to now under threat of losing his podium position. But first, Chris Wilson will try and take his P2 from him. That will be the story of this race. The leader who was leading comfortably until he himself made a mistake that caused him to lose it. Chris Wilson, Taylor Dewhurst, Etu Koskinen, they all have their sights on one more position, more points. Taylor Dewhurst wants that podium, and look how close they are together here. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in this race, but there is nothing William Talbot can do. He just has damage. His car will not be as fast as all the others. Chris Wilson down the inside, takes the move up into second place, and Taylor Dewhurst, he doesn't have time to lose either, because he might want to battle him still. But William Talbot, he puts it in the middle of them. So Taylor, not into the podium positions yet. On to the next straight. And he's gonna try it down the inside into turn 1. Will tries to send it around the outside, but honestly, where is he gonna... Ooh. They made contact. William is on the grass. That's gonna compromise his braking a lot, but he managed to defend it. Not the cleanest of racing, but also no big incidents. Taylor Dewhurst really cutting that curb. I hope that didn't affect anything for him. Etu Koskinen now, he wants to join this party as well. Tries to send it down the inside. We're not getting the best of angles. Taylor Dewhurst overtakes William Talbot for P3, and Etu Koskinen also overtakes William Talbot for P4, which means William Talbot P5 with 1 minute 37 to go. And honestly, nothing he can do anymore from leading this race to out of the podium positions. What a big shame for the UJazz Racing driver. Their team principal UJazz is gonna have a word with him, because he caused it himself. At first, it looked like such a great result. This team locked out the front row of the grid, P1 and P2, and it ends in probably a P5 and a DNF. They're gonna be disappointed with that. Chris Wilson, chuffed. He drove a great race, just staying consistent all the way up to P2. Of course, Adam Modan wasn't really competition for any of them. He managed to do some clever pit stops and some very fast racing to overtake all of them. But if we have a look at the positions gained and lost. Yeah, Wilson gained 5. Very impressive. This is what it looks like for now. But what did I see? What did I see? With 33 seconds to go, Jack Bressington is right behind Calkin, so maybe he can still make a move. His lap time was 6 tenths faster. He really has to try and benefit from that slipstream and hope he can throw it down the inside somewhere. But where on the track is Adam Modan? He is right behind them. He is drifting and slipping a bit, but this race will end on this lap, because the timer has run 0. Adam Modan has to do a couple more corners and 2 more straights. But that's been a very impressive race for Adam Modan. Bressington, ooh, Bressington, we have to look at it really close behind. Will he send it down the inside? He doesn't have many opportunities anymore. He is aiming to send it down the inside. Ooh, Calkins really covers it up, but he really loses it on the braking, which means Bressington has the inside line, moves himself up to P10 with quite a clean move. Let's hope they do not get flagged off. The first one to finish the lap now, or the first one to finish the race, will be Adam Modan. Who spins before the line? Or over the line? I have no clue. I think Adam Modan finished and won this race at least. By the looks of it, he did. Chris Wilson, P2. Taylor Dewhurst, P3. Etu Koskinen, P4. And the guy who was leading for almost all of it, William Talbot, finishes in P5. John Mitchell, P6. Commendable. Good points for his team. His teammate got P2 and he got P6. Very good points. Matthias Jepsen, 7th. Very impressive. Keen Byrne, you would have expected that he would have gotten a better result. But surprisingly, he didn't. As they also all finished. That means I think it's just Calkins to the line. Calkins and Brassington and McKinnon. So Keen Byrne P8, McKinnon P9, Brassington P10 and Calkins 11th. Patrick Ballock, Scarborough, James, Theodoru, Muller. They were all lapped, so their races finished before the last car. And people, that concludes this race at Sebring School, round 1 of ZRL Season 2. And it was a race full of stories. It had enjoyable moments, it had good racing, it had drama. But in the end, this is what it finished like. Well done by all the drivers. And I hope everybody joins in next week for the return, if it is streamed. I hope it will be. For the return of ZRL. Round 2 in Portugal next week. First day, 8 PM British time, 9 PM Central European time. My name was Tom, and I see you later.